Welcome to Ike Live here at the Bassmaster Classic 50th anniversary. We have a great cast with us today that I'm really excited about. We got BTC down at the end with the headset on and the glasses. Hey. Why are you wearing those glasses, bro?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, boss, have a few.
We got our, for Bass University, for Professional Edge, our sales professional, Charles Torqeedo.
What up?
How are you, man?
I'm awesome. I'm at the Classic.
It's great to have
There's
you.
nothing. It's great to be here.
A lot of opportunity all over here.
A lot of opportunity. A lot of people. A lot of talking.
Yep.
A lot of hey, buddy. A lot of fans. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's awesome.
You are a hit. Everybody loves Charles.
That's not true at all. Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we've got Jeff Little, the marketing manager for Torqeedo Trolling Motors, business development, kayak specialist, you name it. Our guy.
All the above.
Here to talk about an amazing motor on an amazing boat. Guys, we are here on the Brian boat build. I told you it was a great idea to bring this boat to the Classic.
Yes, you did.
We're not going there. Not live, folks.
But we love. It's been great. It's been a hit. Everybody walking by, everybody's checking out the boat. They're loving it, from the marine mat to the sound system. But I promise you, every single person goes to the transom and checks out that Torqeedo.
Yep.
Everybody that's walked by.
This is true.
A lot of interest.
Yep.
People want to know how many horsepower, how fast does it go?
Yep.
And there's a lot of options there. That's our Cruise 2.0. Look, it's raising up. Who's playing with that?
That's me.
Is that a jack plate?
That is a jack plate.
Come on, TH Marine.
We are loaded.
Yeah, hon.
We are definitely loaded on this boat. You've got TH Marine products from coast to coast. So many great things on it, but none more impressive than the motor. This is a 5 horsepower motor.
Yep.
Is it getting up on pad, Bri?
Not quite, but it is a heavy boat for a small boat. So
Yeah.
but it moves it good, man. Better than anything else in my area.
So explain
Yeah,
heavy.
Sure.
Heavy. What's it decked out with? I mean, I think some of the viewers know, obviously, but it's all aluminum decking, right?
That's right. Yep. All aluminum built. There's no wood in this boat whatsoever,
Yeah.
except for the balsa crankbaits.
Yeah. Okay. And
That
4,000 black Senkos, right?
Not I. That's
Yeah.
Pete's boat.
Hey, you can get rid of the balsa crankbaits too, because Fritz just told us that the Berkeleys are better and we can use plastic now.
All right.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, I don't know. They won 3 professional tournaments on that bait.
That's it?
Seems like a pretty
geez,
good bait just this year.
Oh, I guess someone should start throwing it, huh?
Might have to think about changing, but I don't think so. but the Torqeedo is an amazing product. It has it's delivering so much power. It's got technology that, man, we're just getting exposed to. It's amazing. Tell us a little bit about the motor.
Well, it's not a trolling motor. A lot of people add that that name in there, and it's more powerful than a trolling motor. It's a very high torque motor. Your basic design of any electric motor, whether it's the little fan to cool off your laptop or a trolling motor or any other electric motor, you have your copper coils.
Yep.
Magnet that goes in the middle. You apply electricity, magnet spins, and anything fixed to it, whether it's a propeller blade or fan or whatever actuator, whatever you got. When they invented this, they inverted that relationship. Instead of the magnet in the middle, they put a bell housing with lots of magnets around the outside. So more magnets, more torque. But the magnets they use are not the ferrite magnets you have in a trolling motor.
Mm-hmm.
They're rare earth magnets, which are crazy expensive, but they're also 6 times more powerful per weight. So again, another magnification of torque. What do you do with all that torque? You get a propeller that is longer than you would have normally and more aggressively pitched. So trolling motor prop is about like that. The Torqeedo prop is really aggressively pitched. So every revolution that you have, it's biting off big chunks of water. And what that means is that you're able to take a fairly heavy, load and just move it, whether it's against current or wind, or you got 2 or 3 big guys in the boat. It doesn't matter. It'll handle it.
2, 3, 30 packs of founders in there.
There it is.
All day. Hey, Brian.
Heavy payload.
And ice.
Oh, yeah.
It'll
Ice
move
Brian. Got to keep them cool, buddy.
That's
But
right.
in terms of speeds, I kind of like Brian's explained it to to folks that have walked up a couple times
Yes.
this weekend, you know, in terms of what speed and in terms of the weight balance and why, you know, you have the Torqeedo lithium battery in the back, but you have some other batteries that you put here,
Right.
and that was intentional.
Yeah.
But talk about where you stand in the boat and what that means in terms of adjustments of what top end speeds you're getting.
So when we were building the boat, my initial plan was to put all the batteries in the boat in the back compartment like a bass boat would have.
Right.
Right? And that's just my thought process there. And when Jeff came to help us set up the Torqeedo, he explained to me how the boat really needs to be flat in the water. It needs to be level. If your back end is heavy, you've got a lot of drag, and that's really going to slow the boat down.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he's saying you'll put a styrofoam cup behind the boat and it'll follow you around the lake just from all the drag. So right off the bat, took his advice, and we changed our plan and moved, and we had to pull a lot of wiring and move a lot of wiring, but we pulled them all up front, or I should say middle of the boat here. So there's 3 batteries there for the 36-volt Fortrex, and then there's a house battery for all the fun stuff, you know, the electronics, the live well, the stereo.
And that's back here.
That's all middle of the boat.
That's all middle
cooler.
of the boat.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of weight in the middle of the boat. The back of the boat, all that has is the 24-volt Torqeedo battery, which weighs
53 pounds.
53 pounds.
Holy smokes, that's nothing.
So
pretty wild.
you've basically gone from where it's riding at rest, you know, like this, to kind of shoveled,
Right.
kind of nose down.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the stern squat of the motor once it kicks in, and it levels out.
Stern squat.
Yeah, it just
Sounds dirty.
It does.
Hey,
See some stern squat.
what did you do last
sounds
night?
like you need a
Went to bed early.
TP holder back
First
there.
time for everything.
But walking,
Yep. So the Torqeedo has a built-in GPS and tells you your speeds. So with one guy sitting in the back, and me and Eric, who was just here, our best buddy, former intern, Eric would crank the motor up
Yeah.
with him in the back of the boat, me sitting like right there towards the back of the boat, and we'd be running about 5.3 miles an hour, right? Just a Torqeedo in. I'd start working my way up the boat, move forward a little bit, and go to 5.5. Come up to here where the pedestal seat is, now we're doing 5.8, 6 miles an hour. Get up here and hang my feet off the front of the boat, hang 10.
Titanic style.
That boat's plowing, and we're doing over 6 miles an hour, close to 6.5. 2 dudes in the boat, but that's how that weight shift
Yeah.
added a mile an hour to the boat. So that was
that's our
very
next
telling.
Instagram post is
Yeah.
Brian the Carpenter.
Yeah. Yeah. Celine Dion in the background. Now, question: like you hold Eric, or did Eric hold you? How'd that go?
Oh no, he stayed back there.
Oh,
so I was solo. It
you
was
were
a solo. Solo
You-
mission.
All
yeah.
right,
Arms
all
aren't
right. You were on the big door in case it went down. I get it.
But
now,
that had that back of the boat up and the water just releasing. Even though we're plowing that much more in the front, the water releasing off the back of the boat, that lack of that drag,
Wow.
made that much of improvement. So that was really cool to see. And we're going to do some things this summer to actually document that, to show how that weight transfer made a difference. And that's running 2 people on the boat. So
wow.
So much of our marine culture and the efficiency that we're used to getting with boats that plane is in direct conflict with efficient displacement propulsion. You know, we're in the displacement
Yeah, I
range
was
of
just
speeds.
gonna
We are
say the
not
same
planing
thing.
this boat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you would do the opposite if you have a boat that actually planes.
Right.
And yeah, Torqeedo does make some, well, this is a 5 horsepower. There's an 8 that does about 7.5. There's a
Wow.
20 horsepower, the Cruise 10.0 that a lot of the guys on the Baltimore reservoirs are running. That I've been in one that goes 17.4 miles per hour.
Wow.
Then you jump up to the high voltage of the Deep Blues, which use a BMW i3 battery. It's about a 700-pound lithium battery, and those are pretty in-depth, custom boat builds. But you're doing 40 horsepower or 80 horsepower. No one's making fishing boats with those yet.
Right.
Someone will
Yet.
do it eventually. But
Yet.
and then there's
Yeah.
100 kilowatt, which is about 130 horsepower. So lots of different power options. And then moving downward, we have our kayak motors. This is one of them. It's a 3 horsepower ultralight, which will move a kayak at Fastest I've been is 7.1 miles per hour, but I've seen them go to 7.8.
Right.
Wow.
And all the guys that were on the stage here earlier this week from the BASS Nation Kayak Series, the first one, a lot of guys came up on stage and mentioned Torqeedo, and that really made me feel good to see that we have that core base of kayak anglers that really know that it's something that allows you to pre-fish efficiently, cover a lot of ground, get to your spots quick, and even when we had rough weather, and when you have a lot of wind, or if they release they released up on Logan Martin, they released some gates, and there were guys that stayed in the river and fished.
Yeah.
And to be able to stay in a 6 mile an hour current and put your jig in that eddy right there, you need that much torque. You need that kind of power.
No one's pedaling or paddling into that kind of water.
Not at all.
And that's fast, because a lot of guys don't. We're talking 6-7 miles an hour. They might not be impressed, but if you're fishing in a trolling motor only scenario, which a lot of lakes all around the country have limitations, no horsepower, or no outboard
gas.
motors,
Right.
no gas.
Maryland, Delaware's got them. New Jersey, New York. Sorry.
There's a bunch
all over the
There's a
country.
bunch north of Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's a bunch in North Carolina. There's in Ohio. Tidewater, Virginia has a bunch of electric only tournaments.
Yeah.
Prior to this, I mean, making 3 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour was doing really good. And, now talking about doubling that speed, doubling your efficiency, doubling the amount of water you can cover, it's tremendous technology.
And that's exactly what this boat will do with the 4-Trex, is about 3 to 4.
Okay.
And I know that because we got
with the 4-Trex, only 3 to 4.
just the 4-Trex.
Didn't you fished a derby earlier this year, right? Or last year, right?
Yeah,
and you said you were, what was it? The North Jersey Reservoir.
Merrill?
Yeah. So Merrill Creek, for those people that don't understand, it's super deep, clear water reservoir in North Jersey, electric only. And they have a ton of tournaments, and you can go there on a Saturday or Sunday and see tournaments. And there's guys with, Bass Cats and Rangers and 250s in the back, and they're all putzing around. And Brian fished a derby against them.
Yeah.
And you said how many times you get across that reservoir?
Yeah, we did things no one else could do.
Yeah. Like
For sure.
with that thing.
Yeah.
Going a spot, fishing a spot, cruising across,
Yeah.
fishing a spot, coming back, seeing if it replenishes, right?
Yeah, the way Merrill sets up,
awesome.
right? It's electric only, so you don't have the freedom you would have in a bass boat. It's more like a kayak kind of mindset where you have to plan where you're going to run to and can't just say, all right, I'm going to blast across the other side of the lake.
Let me go back to the docks.
You have to budget that.
Right,
in
no
electric
running and
only.
gunning. Yeah.
And
So what you're saying is it caused you to be too scatterbrained, and you ran around too much and didn't catch anything.
no, we won.
You
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Black Senko.
Me and Eric. And,
I love Black Senko, Steve. I'm with you.
As it
You
should
know
be.
who else won? Was Vegas.
Yes.
He's
Vegas
running
was in
No,
Oh.
his tournament.
Yeah.
What is
Vegas
it?
has got some
New
wins.
Jersey Junior Bass.
Yeah.
8 to 13 or 8 to 14-year-old range.
He
He won AOI in that thing.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
But he's running a Torqeedo on his kayak.
No.
It's
that's right.
It's the
He's using the
Crawdad.
Coleman.
The Crawdad.
Yeah,
Coleman Crawdad, which
He's
is
running the 3 horsepower travel motor, which is a nice product for the smaller John boats to get into the electric only. That you're not, you're not lugging around a 60-pound battery. You're not dealing with what happens to trolling motors is over the course of your using it in the day, they lose their power. You have full power with these right up until they drop off and the battery's exhausted. Like you can go full speed when you have 1% of the battery left, and when it's at 0, then you're done.
Yeah.
But my point is, you can go at full speed throughout the drawdown of the power of the battery, which is unlike the trolling motor as they
wind down.
Yeah.
And how do you know?
Well,
How do you
additionally,
know?
the motor speaks to the battery. There's a communications cable, so there's a LCD screen that tells you your battery life, your run distance you have left, according to how much wattage you're drawing.
You got one right there.
And we got one right here. This is
That's your throttle.
This is a remote throttle. So the way we set this boat up is with multiple options. It's got the tiller handle in the back, but then they have this remote throttle. We ran another cable for this, and if I'm out there by myself, I don't have to go to the back of the boat. I can just be on the 4-Trex, steering across the lake, kick that thing in, and
So how it works in terms of the remaining range calculator. If you say you get to the top of the reservoir and you run around a lot, and you're thinking, hey, we got 2 hours left in this tournament, and I think this spot is used up, but we want to run down 4 miles and then up in this cove maybe half mile before we got to be back at, for weigh-in. Do we have time? So 4.5 miles plus maybe another mile back. You got 5.5 miles to run, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to run as fast as you can to give yourself the most amount of time at that last spot that you hope to cull some fish. So you mash it and say that the remaining range says, sorry, you only have, you need 5.5. Sorry. You need 5.5. It's only saying you got 4.8 at full speed. You back it off until the remaining range comes up to 5.5. Then you're going at the maximum speed that you can without running out of power. So that range knowledge is
important.
Is critical.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to leave yourself short, but you also want to give yourself every last minute you can at that last spot you're going to fish in the tournament.
It's your fuel gauge that you have, but better.
Yep.
More than just telling you how much gas is left in the tank, it's telling you how much distance you have with that gas.
That's pretty cool.
To the 10th of a mile.
That's really cool. To the 10th of a mile.
Yeah.
Because if you run electric only, you become accustomed to running out of battery juice.
I've seen it. I grew up in Maryland and fished Liberty and Black Raven and Pretty Boy, and fishing those. Occasionally you see the poor guy that ran out of power, and he's walking through the woods with 2 batteries the next day to get his boat back to the trailer.
Yep. Sure enough. We've all been in that situation, so it's great to have that kind of information to be able to take action. I got a question.
Yeah.
We're shallow water fishermen, obviously, bass fishing. A lot of power here. What's in place when you hit a stump? Or what kind of mechanisms do you have to protect the prop, or how you handling that?
Awesome question. There's a welder local to me. His business is called Innovative Sportsman, and he's actually my number one ultralight dealer for the kayak motors, because he makes rock guards. Mm-hmm. And early on in my using them, I'd fish on the Susquehanna River, and I knew, even growing up, whenever you put a gas motor on a john boat, what do? You go, before you even run out, and use it, you get a pitchfork head at TSC, get a hose clamp, take it to the welder and say, put these together. And you clamp it on there, and you got the pitchfork out there to protect the prop.
Right.
That's just basic river rat stuff.
Right.
River rat.
And I brought that idea, that concept to a local welder, and I said, can you build something for this ultralight motor? And he did it for a number of years, and my buddies asked him for it, to make them for him. And, it's after a number of years, he was like, I appreciated you send me business, but it was side work for me, and I don't have the time for it anymore. I said, let me find someone else. I found Trey Leach of Innovative Sportsman, and he makes both rock guards and grass cutters. And I wish I had it here to show, because I know we got to get one on your boat, especially for the grass.
Sure.
But it's basically something that fits onto this profile that comes around the front and has 2 forks here that protect the prop, so that when you're hitting stumps and stuff, it rides up and the motor kicks up. The other thing it has is a stainless steel blade that comes back here, and it sits right here, and as soon as it gathers vegetation, it just chops it off.
Right.
And it'll do it in both directions. So
okay, good.
It's like a box cutter for your prop.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need that.
Pretty neat.
Totally.
Okay.
So it's a good solution. He makes them for the travel motor, the ultralight, and now he's making them for the cruise.
Excellent.
And the motor also will give, too.
Yeah, it'll kick up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
So you can lock it in, or you can unlock it to kick up. So if I'm running deeper water, I'll have it locked in so I can hit reverse without the motor riding.
Right.
But if we're shallow,
Leave it unlocked.
oh, heck yeah. Because you know the deal. We're loaded with stumps in shallow water.
Yeah, all over the place.
Plus, it's on a jack plate.
You got a hydraulic jack?
Yeah,
You got the Atlas?
he was lifting it earlier.
Just got her.
Yeah, I think I just startled her.
Sorry.
You were just killing it out here with this boat, Brian. You have every possible feature that could exist.
That was the goal, man.
There's actually a kitchen sink in it, too. It's back
It's
there.
under one of
There
these
is.
compartments.
Yeah.
You have lighted cup holders.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Speakers, right?
Yeah, speakers, subwoofer,
So what don't you have? A microwave?
microwave.
No, but what do you have? What's in this thing? Like what total? Soup to nuts.
Soup to nuts, product-wise?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, okay. So obviously the Torqeedo, the micro Atlas jack plate, the
Yeah.
micro anchor,
Yeah.
the power pole micro anchor.
Yeah.
One thing I'm really happy we did was we added nav light sockets front and back for obviously a nav light,
Yeah.
which you don't need a whole lot on electric-only legs, but also for these yellow tech sticks, power sticks,
Cool.
for running GoPros and they make a light. You can hook your phone up to it, charge it while you're recording and content creating. A lot of LED lighting. All the hatches have TH Marine LED lighting in them, including the live well, the oxygenator in the live well. The live well build's amazing, and that's courtesy of my buddy Dave Haas. He really knew all the parts and what it really needed. So we put a little cooler in there. You know, it's got everything.
Awesome, man.
It's got everything.
How big of a deal is the oxygenator? Summer tournaments?
Summer tournaments, man, super key. Pumping that oxygen in there.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You know, for me, I'm a bit of a conservationist, and it really bothers me when we're killing fish.
Yeah.
You know, so summertime tournaments, I think that thing's really key.
The electronic version of that is pretty cool. I've been out on the water with Matt Elliott, who is a tournament angler in the Baltimore Municipal Water Supply Reservoir, that series, and he actually has a system with bottled oxygen, and he pumps that in, and he's like, they are happy. He's like, I bring them in, I bring them out of that cold deep water, and I bring them up, and they're I've exhausted them, but he's like, I put them in there, and
it helps them.
3 or 4 minutes later, they are lively and happy, and he doesn't. He's like, I don't have dead fish penalties ever because he's pumping in oxygen.
Before the oxygenator came along, a lot of guys did, especially up in the Great Lakes, because you're going through all the waves and it can be rough on them on the boat rides. So, but a lot of guys used to do that exact system. A lot of guys have switched over to the oxygenator.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Guys are fascinated with this Torqeedo. I know it. Anybody that does an electric boat knows it. How do they get them? Where can they purchase this?
We have a number of dealers. I'd say the closest one that I know of to where you guys are is Reservoir Boat Works up in Havre de Grace, Maryland. We're hoping to get a few more in the southern Jersey area.
Okay.
Mike Beck's Gunsmithing is another one, and he does a lot of cruise 10.0 installs.
Really?
Yeah, he's up near Pretty Boy Reservoir near the Maryland-Pennsylvania line. Those are the two I know that are close to where I'm at in Maryland and that whole Baltimore group. But if you go to Torqeedo.com, we have a dealer locator, and I would also suggest if you just do a search on YouTube, put in Torqeedo fishing cruise 10.0, cruise 2.0, cruise 4.0. I have videos out there of showing like a 20-foot by 70 wide flat bottom john on Pretty Boy Reservoir going 17.4 miles per hour. So there's stuff out there. If you just do a little search on YouTube, you can see these.
That's crazy. Hey, yo, boss, we're having a show.
Hey, all right.
Yo, boss.
We are live, boys.
Thanks for coming.
That was Frank Cherry.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you teaching us about the Torqeedo and being part of the program, being part of Ike Live. It's awesome.
I'm happy to be partnering for sure.
We're
it's good fit.
We appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here, Charles. I was wondering, is Hank Hill here today?
Yeah, Hank Hill's here. Yep. Come on down to the Bassmaster Classic, folks. Yeah. Get you some popcorn for the kids and a couple, pitching rods. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
I was wondering if Hank could
you throw a spinner bait?
Could say thanks for watching, and we'll be back with more Ike Live real soon.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Ike Live. We'll be back with more soon. Stay tuned, fellers.
Thanks, everybody.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.